Hi, thanks for gardening with me. I'm Melissa, and today I'm going to be planting this baby blue spruce. I bought it originally to put over there, but it's just going to get way too big to put over there, so it needs its own space. It can grow up to 30 feet, but it only grows about a foot a year, so it's definitely a very slow grower, and it'll grow nice and dense and thick. And I made one of the biggest mistakes when I was picking this plant out, and I was at Costco and it was grouped together with a bunch of other trees, and I didn't pull it out and look all the way around the tree, and it definitely has a good side and a bad side, and it is leaning a little bit. So I'm going to put it in the ground here, and I will let you see how I do the whole process. What you want to do is you want to dig the hole that's twice as deep and wide as the root ball, and fill it with nice good soil, and then you want to plant the tree in just as deep as it is in the pot. And I'm going to be adding some Espoma holly tone to it as well when I plant it, and give it a nice good boost. Fill the hole full of water so that the root system can get a nice deep drink. I didn't water it yesterday or the day before because for moving it I wanted it to be a little lighter, so I'll show you how that looks. As you can see here, I'm going to run into a ton of roots, and they're coming from these apple trees. This whole area is going to get changed massively this year. All of these old apple trees that were just kind of left to go crazy, they're going to be taken out this year. As you can see here, the soil is horrible. It's never been able to grow grass, so I don't know if I'm going to seed it or if I'm going to put sod down, but definitely going to change things up a lot this year, and it's just going to look so much better. This is going to be a chore. So I wanted to speed this part up for you a little bit. Not that it took an incredibly long amount of time, but it was tedious. There was a lot of rocks, lots of roots, and then at one point I actually have to go into the garage and get my Sawzall to cut through a really large root that's coming from a tree that's going to be pulled up. So here I have my hole dug, and I'm going to go ahead and get down in there and make sure that the bottom of my hole is a little wider than the top. I'm no arborist, but this is just what I do in my own yard when I'm planting trees. That way, if we get a frost, it doesn't want to push the tree up out of the ground. Also, what I'm going to do before I plant it is put a bunch of water in the hole, and that way the root system gets a really healthy drink to get it on its way. So I just want to kind of show you what I have going on here. My hole is definitely close to twice as wide as the root ball is, maybe not exactly, but I'm using a few different things here to put into the hole. I've got some planting mix, which is garden soil here, and then I have some organic like a land and seed compost that I'll mix in with that. I also have Organic Valley premium topsoil. So I'm just gonna kind of mix all that in together just because I want to use up what I have. So on the directions for the holly tone, it says to take 1 cup of fertilizer and mix it in with the soil that you took out of the hole, and fill the rest of the hole with an amended, really good healthy soil. The reason they want to do that is because they don't want the roots to just sit in the hole that has the great soil in it. It wants to be able to spread through the rest of the soil. So if the rest of the soil all around your hole is complete crap and hard like concrete, then the roots aren't going to want to spread out and go into that soil. So you'll make sure you want to use some of the native soil mixed in with some fertilizer, and fill the hole up that way. So I'm going to get started and show you what this looks like. So being that this tree also has a good side and a bad side, I want to make sure that I have the nice healthy side facing out towards the front of the property. So to loosen it up, I'll just roll it around a little bit and just roll it right into the hole with hopefully the bad side facing the back. Oh, this is burlapped and tied. So they say that the burlap is biodegradable. I always take it off, just because it takes a long time for the roots to be able to get through that. And if you don't take it off from around the stalk, it's usually tight around there and it will stunt the growth of the tree and maybe even destroy the stalk. So there we go. So as you're backfilling your hole, you'll want to check your tree often, step back, make sure that it's standing up nice and straight and angled in the way that you want it to be. Also, when you're putting the soil down, make sure you go down with your fingers or some kind of tool to make sure you're getting all the soil down along the edges of the root ball. You don't want to have any air pockets around that root ball. Here now, all that's left to do is just water it in really good. I'll come back with some mulch and mulch it later as well. So that's it. We have this baby blue spruce planted. I hope you learned how to plant a spruce tree in your own garden and see that it really isn't that difficult or intimidating. I am going to make sure that I water it each and every day and then trail that off over the next 2 weeks. Thank you so much for gardening with me. God bless and have a great week.